Welcome to the Purposed Audacity podcast, where we aim to nurture, amplify voices, and inspire our community to stand boldly in their Christian identity. Join Brian and Charmian Marie weekly as they have riveting discussions surrounding healing, restoration, and purpose. This is Purposed Audacity, powered by PAJE Magazine. Hey everyone, welcome to season 4 of Purposed Audacity. Season 4, episode 1.
That's right.
I'm your host or co-host, Charmian Marie.
And I am your other co-host, Brian Beadle.
Wow. Alright guys, so well, first and foremost, it's been a really interesting journey even just getting here in relation to Purposed Audacity, because as you know, I started it in 2019. And it was just a way of encouraging persons to grow and heal as I grow and heal, you know? But with the advent or the re-establishment of PAJE Magazine and just wanting to, having the same pretty much mandate and stuff, I'm like, yo, this podcast literally is attached to the mission of PAJE, you know?
Yeah, I think it just makes sense because PAJE is going after something that's not really out there right now, which is, you know, really helping Christians to really live through just different parts of their lifestyles, whether it be fitness, whether it be, you know, traveling, whatever it's gonna be, and the purpose of all of that in it. So I feel like it's really, you know, you need the right time for both of them to definitely link up.
Yeah, I agree and stuff. So, well, with that said, we are gonna jump in to this first episode. So the topic for today's episode, actually we asked some questions on the page, you know, to just get y'all's opinion, because we don't want it to just be about us talking. We want to hear what you have to say as well.
That's right.
So make sure to look out on PAJE Magazine's page. Anytime we ask a question, you can actually comment and we'll share. Right? So this topic is, would you say that you were or are intimidated about pursuing your purpose 100%? 100.
Yes.
You are?
I would say it for when I was starting, and sometimes still am, because I think purpose or chasing after purpose or jumping into purpose for very weird reason, and hear me out, I think it's supposed to be scary. I think it's supposed to be intimidating, because if it was something that you could be like, you know, I could do that. It's okay, I can do that. That's nothing for you to do. Then it wouldn't be so much. The weight of it wouldn't be keep you thinking and waking up at night wondering, what my purpose, what are the things I have to do in it, what are the things I have to get involved in it, you know? When I think of just the fact that finding your purpose is pretty much of an unknown thing, you're really stepping into the unknown.
Right.
It's something that even if a part of it you're pretty much good at, it's still something that is so big. The more you get into it, the more you realize, okay, one, I can't do this alone. And two, you definitely have to give God the glory as you walk through purpose, because, again, how massive this thing is, or what He starts to do with it when you walk in. And so, yeah, it's intimidating. It is.
So it's funny that you mentioned that point particularly, because as soon as you said it, I remember, you guys have possibly heard it as well. It stated that if your dreams or your goals do not scare you, then they're not big enough. And
I've heard that many times.
Yeah, and so for me, it's a similar take in terms of the purpose aspect. Alright, cool. We have to reach a point in life, in the journey and whatever, in the pursuit of purpose, where we recognize that, as you said, we can't do it alone. And, you know, God is the one who prunes us. God is the one who really leads us and whatever, and it requires us to live in surrender. So, interestingly, it's, I would say, and to give my answer to the question as well, initially it scared me as well, because I'm like, that requires us to live in full surrender. And I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm very stubborn. You get me? And to also, and I also have this thing where I want to know the destination. I want to know what is gonna happen here, there, and you know, yeah, in the next steps or whatever. And so the idea of pursuing purpose and whatever, as much as you get wind of something, you know, is like you don't know the steps to get there. You see me?
I think when it comes down to purpose, I think for persons who are controlling.
Wow, are you is that like a whoa?
You know, some persons who like to make sure that it's planned.
I think we got the point.
Yeah, people like that. I feel like it's harder for you guys. Like I have to pray for you guys.
There's a you guys.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, me. I mean, I like the control stuff, but I'm not. Yeah, it's like I kind of go with the flow. You know. True. This.
And I mean, that's how we balance out kind of. Yeah,
but it's like I pray for the persons who like really like legitly like they have full set goals. And nothing wrong with that. Let me not go like anything is wrong with that. But it's almost like there is nothing else that can mash up the plan. And if the plan mash up, everything mash up. Or if something is put out of the way, everything. So this thing of purpose and trusting God as you step further and further, not knowing what's gonna happen next, not realizing you're literally just getting. You get I think I don't remember who said this. But it's like they said it was when it comes down to purpose, you either get with God. You either get to see the top of the mountain and you can't see it in front, or you see the bottom of the mountain and you can't see the top. And it's I don't remember who, but somebody said that and it made sense. Right. You only get a piece of it.
So it's funny that you mention, you know, the differentiation between the controlling. So fine, and and the more laid back people, you know, who just flow with, you know, big up yourself, you know. But it's funny that you mentioned that because the interesting thing is that both persons in pursuit of purpose meet up on their interesting challenges with God. Yep. The person who is who ends up being more laid back, me not say too laid back or lazy and them sitting there, me not say that, you know. But I'm more saying the person who is more laid back or whatever ends up having to have like a fire struck under them.
Yeah, having to learn to actually control things and keep things pretty much organized. Yeah, I know
and
that.
then on the flip side too, the interesting thing, and I mean I will say a good thing, is that the persons who tend to be very organized and try to be structured, I'll say try to, because I mean life is life. You know, the good thing is that they already come with some level of what's that word that I'm looking for? That level of initiative, right? Mm-hmm. Where if God say do this, like them I go actually like consciously pursue it. But they run into the challenge of alright, cool, trying to run ahead of God. And also like run ahead of themselves and stuff, and then so they in the process sometimes get struck down or broken a little more. So interestingly, both individuals, and I don't know if there's a third group, you guys can comment below.
There are many groups.
You guys can comment below if like you're like an in-between kind of vibe. But literally everybody has their interesting journey and their interesting experience as they pursue purpose and stuff. And so in terms of the intimidation and it's stuff, different. The idea of willingly going through that is scary.
Yeah, because the intimidation will come with different things. For some people it may be the unknown. That's intimidating, like just not sure or not knowing what's gonna happen next or what it really looks like in the long run. For some persons it may be the fact that I will have to know interact with people. I have to talk with people depending on what this, because maybe you're a person like I'm a lone wolf. Wait, can I say roof?
You think you would read it as should we like holes? Should we cut this?
The lone wolf, right? The lone wolf.
Which I will say that I have
we'll have like, okay, the intimidation is that no, I'll have to deal with people,
Right.
talk with people.
Yeah.
What? Oh my
I don't know why you're reading out my life story.
I'm not trying to. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
man,
no problem.
That's intimidating because you're gonna have to
come out of yourself.
come out of your shell. All of that.
It's a real thing.
You're gonna have to do that,
Yeah.
and then you have other persons who just it's almost like it's hard to. Oh yeah, you have other persons who's like the procrastinator of purpose.
Oh God.
Yes, the procrastinator of purpose,
Ooh,
which
that
is
was just-
yeah man, I'll do it tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and
Yeah.
tomorrow and tomorrow, and the intimidation of that procrastination is because of could be many things, could be they just feel scared, they just not sure, they're thinking of doing everything else before they start it,
Right.
because maybe I need to set up myself before I go into that.
Right, and they also look for every sign in a God kingdom. Yeah, they say, yo, confirm this Jesus, everything must, everything.
At every prophetic meeting,
Yeah,
Lord,
man.
talk to me.
Talk
Let
to me
them
when
come
God
to
talk
me.
to you a long time.
Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
it's a real
It's a
thing.
real thing. It's a real thing. I'll confess. A part of my life has kind of been like that. I will confess. That's it.
Okay.
Coming out. Where it's like, God, confirm through this person. They're talking. And then having to realize, like, no, I'm already talk to you. Like, God is like, I'm never in a malice with you. We can have a conversation. I can make it clear.
Pretty much. No, it's true. And well, while we're talking about this, so when we had asked questions on the page, some person responded. So I'm gonna read two of the responses. So this one is from Aishika. Big up yourself. All right. So yes, for sure, the fear of the unknown is what usually cripples me. So we mentioned the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
But I've come to recognize that fear is rooted in a lack of trust. And if I truly trust God as the author of my story, then I must trust that when He has written, what He has written is beautiful, and I should simply fall in alignment and just say yes to His will, right? After all things work together for good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose. And I feel like we can just pack up and whatever. That was like the full sum of like everything that we have stated today. But I like what you said here, the matter of getting in alignment with with what God is doing in our lives and where He's leading, because our reality is too, the flip side is that a lot of persons can know purpose. For instance, I received a certain prophecy over my life many years ago, right? And my mom raised me telling me about this prophecy and whatever, so I held dearly to it. Yet it's almost like I held on to the purpose or to what was spoken over my life without committing it to God.
Ooh.
And so it's almost like may I say, may I go try do this, that, whatever, because that is where I'm supposed to be, and all these things. Ooh. And so because I did that, a lot of things just flop. Flop. Like literally, if God speaks something over your life and you try and do it outside of it'll go flop.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Trust me. It may know for sure. Trust me. It makes no sense. If He's the one that has spoken something over your life, then He's the one that we should always go back to say like, all right, what's the next step? What's the next instruction? A preacher once said, if it is that you don't know what's next, if God has spoken to you and you don't know what's possible, what's next, then you go back to what you were doing. It's like and he was trying to show that with David. David was prophesied over, was told that he was gonna be the king of Israel. And what happened after that? He never pack him bags and go up on a mighty steed and right all the way to the throne. He literally went back into the pasture shepherding the sheep.
Right.
And
waited
literally waited for God's timing.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't go in front of Saul and be like, well, move up time, bro. Because you're the next king. No, he literally went back and pretty much waited for God's timing, which came in the form of him serving his brothers. Hey, him serving his brothers. Because the truth is, what was happening is that he brought the food or so to his brothers, saw the situation that was going on, and said, hey, no. Everybody here being all afraid and stuff, which he had a right to, but he was like, no, this is my God. May I do something about it. And that was the opportunity. And
he volunteered.
And he volunteered to do this, and that was the opportunity for God to show who David is, David is, to show him name. That's when it just really come out. So doing purpose. And that's
wait, before you continue, let me read this other one too. This is from Victor Brown. Big up yourself, sir. Definitely. One reason I've been intimidated in purpose pursuit is my fear of not accomplishing anything worthwhile in my eyes.
Ooh.
That one, yeah. And for me, like, especially coming from the coaching arena and stuff, like, there's this idea of fear of failure, analysis paralysis, all of these things and whatever. Things that basically cripple us and prevent us from making a move because we somehow see the end saying, alright, cool, this, possibly I go fail.
Imposter syndrome.
Even that too. Or like maybe I'm not good enough to accomplish it and whatever. Or there's so many spin-offs of what Victor just said with this response here, and so because of that now, because we're overthinking and all of that, like we just don't move. But I want to actually share something that the Lord said to me a couple years ago and stuff. There's something called false humility. Where interestingly is like we hold ourselves back and we don't talk about what we're doing and we don't talk about what the Lord has called us to do because we want to, be nice, me in my small corner, kind of a vibe.
Show people.
Right, yeah man, but it's almost like the Lord kind of did blame me and say, yo, like what you do, like you're actually like putting yourself and your will before my will when I have called you to do a particular thing. So, what you do? You get me? And so when he said that to me, granted it has not been peaches and cream since then. I have questioned myself many times, this and stuff like that, but I still always have to come back down to that resolve. I still always have to come back down to that place of, I have a purpose to pursue, and whether or not it intimidates me, God is the one who is journeying with me. God is the one who has equipped me. I'm not going to just say, yo, come go up. come do this and whatever and just left you on your own. He's going to help you. He's going to walk with you. And so therefore we have no full reason and right. Well, I don't want to say right because that sounds strong. But we have no full reason to say, oh, we're just going to be all lonely on this journey and the Lord is not going to help us or whatever. And so maybe whatever we in our purpose pursuit, we won't accomplish anything worthwhile. Like, yeah, God is going to be with us,
I take from that comment the factor of, because it's what you just said, and then there's what you just said, and then there's the factor of looking at others who have accomplished. Maybe some persons you look up to, and so you put in that comparison, like, what I'm being called into, I'm not sure I have achieved enough. I have the accolades to be a part of this or to do this thing. I don't know if I have enough equipment and skills to do this thing.
Somebody confessing on camera?
I don't know what you're talking about, guys. I don't know. But it's saying basically, yo, we're looking at the end, or what we think might be, okay, God called me to be a preacher or a teacher of the word, and you're already looking at yourself like, nope. You know how much time I read my Bible? Please. I ever be a teacher of the word? As a matter of fact, if I learn Hebrew, like, I don't understand them Hebrew thing.
Really,
because but that's the thing. You're already already start thinking of the way out things like I'm going to have to learn Hebrew and the old language. And do you see how he teaches? You see how, I sat in a Bible study with this guy. You hear him? Yep. He's been like how many years in the Word? And the person you're talking about is maybe either near their age or 1 year above, whatever. I said, what? Them person is sitting in the Word. All God is really calling you to do, as he said in this first point, that he's calling us to do it with him. Right. He's calling us to he's not gonna say, okay, I call you to this and then just alright, go on your ways. No, he's doing it to say, alright, no, it's okay, I've called you to this. Alright, you don't know how to go about it? Come back to me. Right. Talk to me. I will give you the different instructions. And he will guide your steps. The biggest thing about it, guys, is that if God is calling you to do something, it means that there is something inside you, about you, something about your life that is so unique and so significant. You know, something that you are possibly already equipped with, you just don't know it. That he knows that is already there. And that, he knows that's already there, and he's calling you into it because he's going to blossom and unlock it and blossom that thing.
So I'm happy that you brought that up, because I was going to say, after you finish, that our reality is that the Lord has called you to that specific thing because you can add your specific flavor to that thing.
That's right.
You have to be mindful of the fact that as much as there are 50 million, just call it 50 million is my favorite number, guys. 50 million. Whoa! 50. Hey! Whoa!
50 million.
Oh my God! So, as much as there are so many persons who are fine doing the same thing you do and whatever, nobody does it like you, right?
Nobody does it better.
No, hey. Our reality is that, and I this is something that I speak to a lot of my clients with when I'm helping them to build out their brand. Like, our reality is that what helps you in terms of positioning yourself with a unique selling point is you. You flow differently, you do things differently, your flavor is different, and so as much as people will be provided with the same raw materials and stuff like that, you will produce something uniquely you. And so if the Lord wants to has called you to that specific thing, believe that he can do a new thing through you, even if it's something that is established already. So for instance, preaching, right? If it's a thing where he's called you to preach and stuff like that, you compare yourself and you say, Lord Jesus, like me not do them thing and whatever. Suppose that thing where you say, alright, cool, we are going journey and stuff, and then you are going to merge your passions, merge your passions and stuff with the purpose that I have called you to and stuff. And then so you will bring everything to life in a unique way based on what you are passionate about and based on what I have called you to. So with the advent of evangelizing to on the internet, and even for instance PAJE Magazine, it's just a different way of evangelizing, but at the end of the day, evangelizing existed along from Wappy Kill Philip. Hey,
who is Wappy?
I don't know.
And who is Philip? Maybe what they already to. Alright, that's it.
Yes, so just to as we're working on wrapping up the episode and stuff, like, just remember, being intimidated, I believe, is completely natural, and I think you'd agree. Natural. And it's just about still remembering, though, that we need to not put our will and ourselves in the way of God literally working through us. That's so right. That we can make an impact on others as he has called us to.
Preach. It's preaching.
Do you have any final words, sir?
Yeah, purpose is intimidating. Right. It is supposed to be. I will stand on that. It's possibly supposed to be intimidating. It's supposed to be maybe a little bit scary too, because it's something that you've never done. It's something that you're new to, and it's something that God is trying to bring you into to open your eyes and possibly open the eyes of others.
Right.
But as intimidating and as scary as it is, don't run from it.
Yeah.
Don't run from it. If you need help, if you gather some support, get accountability, if it's something that you may need to learn, you may need to go to school for, or you need to learn the skill, whatever, take your time and do it. Because even though you might think, alright, it may take some time, the fact, if you start now, you will see how fast time moves. Right. You will see how people line up themselves. The network starts to line up. The doors start to open. All the things start to happen, and you may not even reach 100% of what you may need to possibly know. Is really a work on an on the job type of training that God does when it comes on to fire.
My God.
Whoosh. It's an on the job type of training that when it comes on to purpose, that's really what it is. It's learning. And I'm telling you guys, you are not alone. We are here in the sense of like, we've gone through it, we're still going through, we're still learning, and we can attest to the fact that God is opening doors even though we are not the greatest or the best at what we do.
But we are passionate about seeing God's work done.
Alright guys, thanks for joining. This was the first episode of Purpose Audacity.
If you have any comments, if you want, I know it's at the end of the episode, but if you have anything you want to add, drop it below. Remember to share the episode. We want as many persons to hear this message and to watch these episodes as possible. And we're looking forward to continuing this journey.
Alright guys, see you next time.
Later.